What is going on, YouTube? How's it going? My name's Jim. I'm a crypto trader and a Forex trader, and you've landed on the Jim of all trades uh, YouTube channel. So glad you made it. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. We'll be looking at Litecoin, Ethereum, and just seeing what in the world is going on. Really not a whole lot to say right now. We're still in our consolidation mode, still in a corrective mode. I'm looking for the next impulse to the downside in Bitcoin. That's what I'm taking a peek at. So let's just jump into the wave analysis without a whole lot of further ado. Don't forget, this isn't financial advice. All right, now let's see here. Right now, this is what we're expecting for a bull count, guys. This wave right here appears to be in some kind of a diagonal, whether it's a leading or an ending diagonal. It really makes a difference between the bull and the bear case, but there's really no way to know until just this wave plays out. So we're just going to have to play it out and let it do its thing. But basically, there's a 5-wave structure in here. Boom, 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 like so. It was made in a converging fashion, just like a diagonal. Either it is the C wave of this AB, so either we have it like an A here, a B here, and this is our C wave, okay, and that's the ending diagonal, or it is not related. It is not related to this wave in any way, shape, or form, that this was the end of our correction right here, and that we've got a leading diagonal to the upside at least. So if it's a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal, it does make a difference as to what we expect to happen. Somebody was asking me yesterday, so it just looks like you're just guessing, Jim. And that's just not the case. If you're looking at me and what I'm doing here on the channel thinking I'm guessing, then you're missing what I'm doing, to be honest with you. What I'm doing on a daily basis for you is looking at the wave structure, applying Elliott Wave principles and rules, and giving you a forecast for the types of structures that can necessarily follow these individual structures that we've already gotten. In other words, the current structure of the market gives me an indication of what structures I should expect coming soon. It's just on the smaller time frames, I can't tell you exactly how it's going to go up or how it's going to go down in the exact shape. I can just give you the overall structure on the larger time frames to what to be looking for. And so if you get bogged down into the lower time frames, guys, you're just going to you're going to miss what's going on. So I do dive into the smaller time frames to see if there's anything that's going to help us with with a bias for whichever direction we're thinking price might go first or second, just to kind of plan our trades and anticipate the market. But at the end of the day, the highest probability is the major structures that you see on the larger time frames, 4 hours and higher generally. So anyway, that's just to answer that question that somebody asked yesterday. Are you just guessing? And no, I'm not. I'm taking Elliott Wave principles, applying it, and showing you the structures that you should expect. Okay, so what I've just done is outlined that this could be two different structures, and I'm not sure which one it is. Okay, so because I don't know which one, let me share the two different scenarios we could possibly be looking at. Both of them are to the downside. We called this move directly, almost to the tick. I made a video right before it happened and shared it with the Telegram group. I also uploaded that, and you can see that. I knew that was going to happen based on this structure. The structure was calling for a sharp down move off the top. Now, what are we going to get out of that? Well, there's a couple of things we could get. We could either get this ABC that I have drawn here, which is an ABC correction that's going to come somewhere in the vicinity of a 50% retrace. Okay, that's just a normal thing that Bitcoin does. Okay, so around 50% could come down to the 618. That's a little deeper. Could come all the way down to the 786 or even the 883 or the 90%. Shoot, it could come all the way to 100% as long as by Elliott Wave rules it does not break the low. If it breaks the low, then this cannot be an ABC structure to the downside, or that would be a 1-2. It couldn't be a 2-wave. Let me say it that way. It could be an ABC structure, but it wouldn't be a 2-wave. It would be something else. Okay. Now, if it breaks the low, guys, we're probably going a lot deeper than just barely wicking the low or retesting the low. But it could come all the way down. Probabilities, I can't tell you exactly, except that most of the time price hits somewhere between the 50 and the 786. That's the most common range in that ballpark. The only way I can really give you a projection is I need to see this B wave complete. Once I get that B wave, I can project where this thing is going to end with an extension tool. But until then, I can't really do that for you. So we're going to have to wait and see what that gives us. But anyway, so this is the general structure I'm looking for. I'm looking for a three-wave move, something like that, about the same size and in proportionality to that wave right there. That's going to come down. That would be a bull scenario. So if that three-wave move happened, then we would expect a bull move to happen after that. And those are the structures we would expect. Okay. All right. So my kids are just coming in from playing in the snow. So and my dog's barking and. All right. So anyway, what we now have is another possibility. Let me go to a different chart here. Here we have that same diagonal here, but if it's an ending diagonal, which means that we would be dealing with that structure there, which is a flat, which is ending with a C wave diagonal, then we would expect an impulse to the downside like this. Okay, a 5-wave impulse off of that, and this should extend. We should be getting a pretty good nosedive here in the next week or so. I would imagine. Just depends on how long this thing takes to play out. This too could obviously take a little longer to play out. Let's see here. Yeah, this 2-wave could take a little longer to play out, and that 3-wave, may take also longer to play out. It's just who knows how it's going to come down. That's what I can't tell you. I can just give you the general structure that we should expect. We should expect a 5-wave structure coming down off of that. Now, the reason I believe that is because I believe that this was a 5-wave structure. Okay, right there. So I believe that this wave was 5 waves, and so because of that, that kind of requires a 5, 3, 5 correction like that, and that would finish our Z wave down here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for, guys. Those are the two scenarios that I have on the table right now. So let's go into the smaller time frame now and just see, is there anything in the wave structure that's going to give us any kind of bias? And I've been looking earlier, and the reality is not really. Let me get these moving averages off the screen, kind of cluttering up things. There we go. All right, so yesterday we talked about in the video that we could come up in this box region. We've already hit it. We've already hit the 1-to-1 extension of this wave, and so I'm thinking that number one, this is a possibility that this wave is finished. We actually hit the 127 extension as well, so it's looking fairly good. Let's see if I can get this in the right location. There we go. Looking fairly good to be a complete wave. We did hit the 1-to-1, then we came up to the 127. We could come up and hit the 1618, but I doubt it. The wave structure isn't showing that. So what is the wave structure showing me? I would think, I would guess here that this is some kind of a 1 wave, and we could be dealing with a 2 wave now. And then after that's complete, whenever that 2 wave is going to be a 3 wave. So we got a wave, and then we expect a 3 wave pullback like so, and then we're going to get a larger wave. So I imagine once we get that 2 wave out of the way, we're going to get a larger 5-wave move to the downside. So that's what I'll be watching for, guys. Watch to see if this makes 3 waves and retest this level up here somewhere around 50 to 60%, even 78% of this wave right here. So if this were to come up right there, that would be just fine, and we would expect a short from there down to the downside, down to our lower targets. Okay, so let's see, let's go back out to the larger time frame and look at those targets. Those targets were the 50% retrace is $7,800. That's a reasonable target. That comes right here to this structure zone here, 78.21 to be precise. A 618 retrace comes down to about $7,500, and the golden zone includes all the way to 7,400, so 75 to 74. So those would be the targets. If it's really a deep wave, which I don't think it's going to be, but it could be, it could go as low as 7,031. That's in the bull scenario. Again, in the bull scenario, we'd expect a retrace down to one of those levels that I just mentioned. Okay, we'd expect that, and then we would expect it to go higher. In the bear scenario, it's going to continue down. Okay, and I'll actually have to be able to show you something that as it's coming down, we'll be able to know once we get this 1-2 wave or AB wave complete. So that's what we're looking at, guys. Still where we are. Looking at Litecoin with you just really quickly. We already came up and hit our 1-to-1 extension at 58. So there's a good likelihood we're going to continue heading down. But there's nothing saying we can't come up here and hit these higher targets of 59.72 and 60.78. But that's where we are right here. So we've already come up and hit the first target. Are we going to go up and hit the second? I can't tell you. But again, those are the targets if we go up a little higher, and then we should expect a reversal after that. Ethereum, on the other hand, has hit the 786. It did not make the 1-to-1 extension here. I was expecting it to at least get up there. It did not get up there, so I'm not sure if we're going to get another push to the high or we're going to just correct, because the 786 would be just fine. It could go to that extension. It wouldn't be any problem with that. So anyway, that's where we are, guys. Same kind of video. It's pretty much 3 days in a row, pretty much the same kind of video. Looking for the same things, still within our framework. Nothing's invalidated. Looking good. Just keep an eye on the waves. That's all I've got for you today. Sorry, guys, but that's what the market's given us, and that's all I can give you. So you guys have a fantastic day. If there's anything worth live streaming about, I'll definitely pop in live if I'm able to. We'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.